Hey guys, so I was actually asked by a couple of people now to share what I eat in a day, to share how it all kind of worked out for me and where do I shop and things like that. So I'm gonna make a quick video and share with you guys like what my daily to-go list is for food. And I want to preface this saying that I do not meal prep like normal people do. Like there's people sometimes that put these actual meals in the plastic containers, and the chicken and potatoes and salad is like separated. I don't do that because that's just not my style. And so if you don't do that too, don't feel bad about it. That doesn't mean that you're not meal prepping at all. What you need to know is that you are prepared to not fall off the wagon, and you know that there's food in the fridge that's good for you, that is according to your goals. And so my meal prepping is a little bit more simple than most people. And so that means that if I do meal prep, I will cook, let's say, and I'm gonna get into like the meat and stuff. I don't eat much meat at all anymore. I'm probably like 90% meat free. And so but for Chris, I will grill up just enough chicken for several days that can be used for either dinners or like cut up in salads and stuff. And so I'll put it in a large container. Then I'll cook up like rice or sweet potatoes, and then I'll put in a large container. And so that way, if I want some other meal rather than rice, chicken, and vegetables, I can put my own meal and I can kind of modify as I go so it doesn't get as boring. And also, so hopefully you feel better if you do the same, because I don't feel like it's the huge downfall if you don't. Another one is I was gonna say I eat very simple, super simple. Like a lot of people want these elaborate meals and they're always constantly looking for new recipes. I don't. Once I find something that works for me, I stick with it. And so I'm a very boring eater. So if that kind of is no good for you information wise, I'm sorry, but that's just who I am. So if you're a boring eater, you probably like what I'm going to share next. Also, we're very simple eaters, meaning that we don't cook a lot of things that are either not good for you or they take a lot of time, because we don't have a lot of time to cook. And so we always seek out recipes that are super simple. And huge help for me was Beachbody On Demand. And Beachbody On Demand is something that has a cooking show in it and a slew of recipes that actually fit into my eating plan that I follow and have followed for like 4 or 5 years now. And so if I'm craving something new, this is where I go. This is like my library. And I know that over there, everything is going to be checked out, done by nutritionists and professionals. And so I go there with all the confidence in the world and I use it confidently. So anyway, when I first started my journey, I actually started drinking Shakeology like immediately. When I first started working on myself, I just signed up with the whole bundle. And so I have been drinking Shakeology for several years now, nonstop. I may miss a day or two here and there, but not by choice. It's either maybe the shipment was late, or I completely forgot, or there was like no way I could even have it, or whatever. And so Shakeology has always been present in my journey and it literally changed my life. So if you guys have questions on that, you can ask me how it changed my life, how my family's life was completely changed with it, just because we got our internal health on track. Next one is, I have like a list here. Next one is, I actually started to slowly eliminate foods that were not serving me. And I don't believe in the fact that there's bad food for you out there, because another question is it safe? But there is no like bad food. Food is food, but is it real? Or is it made up of chemicals and preservatives and things like that? I don't consider that to be real food, period. And so in my shopping experience, I just don't even go to those aisles. Who is to say that I don't crave sometimes chips or like, other stuff that normal people eat? I do, and I don't say no to that. I'm at the point of my journey to where I allow myself things like that, and that doesn't I do the progress, but I had to build up to that, and I had to figure out what triggers certain ways for me to feel a certain way. I realized that too much wheat is actually like, I would live on bagels and cheese quesadillas. I realized that too much cheese and too much wheat would make me feel bloated. It would not like give me energy, and I was always like dragging. And so over time, I started to replace these things with other things. But I honestly, when I first started, I just kind of eliminated everything that was not serving me. Meaning that I went from regular oil to fry things to grilling things to olive oil and coconut oil. So I've made those changes. I also started to read labels when I go to the grocery store. I also started to look into the huge pan recipes like roasts, veggie roasts, or big pans of like roasted vegetables that are maybe have fish in it or something. And then different soups. I love soups. And so I started to go to the aisles where there's more fresh food and less packaged food, making sense. And so by the time I fill up the cart, there's all kinds of things that I could be using in prepping my meals for the day. And also, I think it's important to realize that it's not a necessity for you to go crazy in the beginning of your journey and go all organic and read every little thing and stay away from everything and like totally go crazy with all your cravings and like completely eliminate everything. I feel like that deprivation and that elimination is not good for your mental or emotional health because you feel like your life is over. Like I like me a glass of wine or a margarita or I like me pizza. And so if I were to tell myself that I will never have pizza for the rest of my life for six-pack abs, like keep your six-pack abs. I would like to have my pizza and my wine back. That's how I feel. But you guys need to arrive to that point. And so the road towards that is going to be paved with discipline, learning about your body, and learning to eliminate things that are not serving you. Like, it's not good for anybody to eat Lay's every day for lunch. It's not good for everybody to eat muffins every day. I look at these things as treats, and I love a good Costco bagel. I love a good chocolate cake or cheesecake, but I don't look at these things as if I don't eat it, I die, or I'm really like depriving myself. If I really truly have the craving, and you need to learn how to recognize those things, then I have it. But if I'm on a program that I'm committed to, I know that right now in that program, I'm committed to building a new set of skills and habits. And so I do say no to all the things that are not serving me. And then when the program is over, I'm equipped with new knowledge, I'm equipped with new habits and options to sustain what I'm about to do. For example, if I haven't had a cheesecake in like 5 months, and I finish the program, I will have a cheesecake, a slice or two, over the course of like several days. And that's okay. When I first started my very first program, which was Kinetics 3, I actually didn't follow the meal plan and that the program came with, but I did follow these elimination food process kind of program. And so I've cut out all the things that I like, refined sugars and processed food and things like that, and lots of coffee. I cut out lots of coffee, and so I pretty much followed that for the longest time. And so I added the containers, my portion containers that I follow now for several years, and that was the game changer for me. And so basically, my food consisted of like grilled chicken. I did kebabs, and I'm gonna read off the list. I would have like scrambled eggs in the morning with coconut milk, no cheese, and then I would do lots of different salads like the cabbage, tomato, lettuce, avocado, a little bit of seeds, and the salad dressing was definitely not ranch anymore. There's actually awesome recipes in the Beachbody On Demand that you can use for salad dressings, and I make them from home, super simple, so tasty too. And then I would eat oatmeal for breakfast and nothing on it, like plain. So not from the packets with a ton of sugar, but actually buy like a steel cut oatmeal, which they say is better for you, or regular oatmeal. And then I would add a little bit of agave or the honey to it, or some fruit. I would eat yogurt a lot back in the day, fruit obviously, and then steamed veggies we get from Costco. I sometimes scramble them into eggs. Sometimes I just eat them with coconut oil on top and some seasoning. Avocado sandwiches. I found a healthier option, breads, back in the day, and I would just use avocado, mush it up, and then add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And so that then I would spread that on there. And Beachbody On Demand desserts, because there is an awesome dessert on Oh my gosh. Um, like chickpea brownies, amazing brownies. Not Chris's favorite, but he loved other cookies that I made from the Beachbody on Demand. And so you don't have to eliminate a lot of things. There's skinny drinks too to actually get in the best shape of your life. And so that's what I followed for the longest time. And then things have changed for me kind of mid journey because I was diagnosed with a gut bacteria and I was literally allergic to pretty much all the food out there. And that meant that dairy, eggs, and then wheat, sesame oil, peanut butter. I mean, there was like all these things I couldn't eat anymore. And then I developed a distaste for meat of any kind and chicken. And so then I had to change everything that I've learned. And what I did was I actually eat now very little wheat. And there's plenty of breads and everything that are gluten and dairy free. And so you can do that, or you can just eliminate it because there's plenty other things that you can eat that are not wheat. And then I eat extremely little dairy. I don't drink milk. I don't eat yogurt anymore. And I pretty much use a little bit of cheese sometimes on things. And I am doing eggs, still scrambled eggs with coconut milk or nothing sometimes, or like I did before with vegetables for breakfast. But you guys, after I actually had gone through the treatment and I started to change my diet and I started to heal my gut all over again using Shakeology and other supplements, I found that I no longer wanted meat, period. And then I still decided to go through with little dairy, little wheat, and things like that because I felt better. And so I cleaned up my diet that way. And what else do I do? Of course, I kept turkey, I kept fruit, and then I do sometimes buy turkey from the Costco. And I've done like for a while, like one or two those strips for breakfast, but then now I don't do it anymore. I lost taste for it again. So I still don't have taste for most of the meat or chicken, period. And so that can be challenging, but at the same time, you can kind of replenish that with other things. I use for carbs like buckwheat. I use cook them in a rice maker. Rice, sweet potatoes. You can make sweet potatoes all kinds of way. You can roast them, or you can actually steam them in a microwave and then just add coconut oil and some agave or a little bit of brown sugar. Tastes really good. So I talked to sour cream. Everybody seems to think that sour cream is the only option to add to their soups or, other things like chili and things like that. We started using Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, instead of sour cream. Less fat content, better for you. But since I said no to dairy like a year ago, I don't use these things either. And so let me tell you that when it comes to pizza time, I don't hesitate. Like, this is what I want. And I've done cauliflower pizza before, and I totally love it. It's really tasty. In fact, you can buy pre-made stuff from the grocery stores. But at the end of the day, I feel like deprivation is the biggest source of giving up and starting over, giving up and starting over. And so I truly believe in following the program from a T. Let's say you commit to something for 21 days or 80 days or something like that, and then you do it like the right way. You follow the program and say no to the things that need to be said no to. And then as you collect the knowledge and information, you start applying to your life and then live your life using that knowledge. And then you commit again and then again and again. And that's how I've arrived to a point to where I don't feel like food controls my life. I don't feel like food is something that I have to constantly think about. And I've created habits that are actually serving me better now. My body is feeling better. It's not about the size, six-pack abs, or how much you weigh. At the end of the day, it's about how good you feel inside and out. Because if you don't feel good on the inside, have you ever had like a meal and then you're like stuffed and you can't move and you're sleepy and you're lethargic, and it's not fun. And then your mood changes because a lot of your mood is actually dependent on what you put in your gut. They say that the gut is your like second brain. And so once you start learning how to do that and realize that the food is not going away and you're still allowed certain things and you can modify them to be better, like on Beachbody on Demand, there's lots of stuff and you can do on Google research. And so that's what you can do. Anyway, that's what I kind of do right now. I still drink my Shakeology, obviously, and I still follow all these simple things. And like I said, it could be boring for some people. It could be helpful for other people, but it changed my life. It got me in the best shape of my life, and it helped me to lead a sustainable life. So when I eat pizza, I don't feel guilty. When I eat, let's say, a hamburger, I don't feel guilty, which I don't a lot anymore at all. Like I can remember when I had last time a hamburger. Or when I have a cheesecake, I don't feel bad about it, or a glass of wine. And so to arrive to that point, you need to go through these steps of learning about your body, and learning about your cravings, and learning about the bad and good habits, and start researching your food, you guys. So it's very important. And don't go all crazy with buying organic. I just want you to learn how to choose a cucumber and a tomato over a bag of chips, and then worry about everything else, okay? So hopefully this was helpful.